The way, sometimes it's just in a way of like, oh, I like you, I want to be like that. But her, Olivia, I do think was negative. So the present being Three of Wands, which in this deck is inspiration, he's starting to see how messed up in the head she actually was. He's starting to my name is Holly. So grateful to have you all. So let's get into the reading. I'm doing couples updates. This is former couples, will they get back together? So I'm doing 3 couples. First is Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn. Second is Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde. Third is Ariana and Tom Sandoval. So let's start off first with Taylor and Joe. So recently, a lot of you have been asking, like, what's going to happen since Taylor Swift has gotten single again with Matt Healy. I did call it, and I said that I felt like they wouldn't gel well together, Matt Healy, and it would be over very soon. I think he wanted it. Matt wanted it way more than she did. Yeah, so that's just what I think. So, and it's funny because he's British too. He must have a thing for Brits, right? And Harry Styles British. Wow, interesting. So, let's get into it. I must say, a lot of Sagittarius I know will often date people of different cultures because they find cultural differences with people very interesting. So, just think about a lot of famous Sagittarius. They often date different cultures, people with different cultures to them, which I think is really cool. I think that's often why I just, to date, I think, like, if I were to date, I think Sagittarius has been the best match for me. I feel like their minds are very open, and there's so many good qualities that they have. They're very philosophical. Sometimes I hear a lot of Sagittarius speak. In fact, 2 guys I've dated that have been Sagittarius, when oftentimes I've been like, okay, they're good looking. I don't really like the cookie cutter good looking type, but when I hear them speak, I'm like, wow, so impressed, because they really like put thought into what they say. If you think about Taylor Swift, she really puts thought. I think that's what makes her such a great singer and songwriter. She puts thought. Like, I was listening to one of her songs this morning, just randomly because I like her music, and I was listening to her song this morning, and it just, her lyrics, she really thinks about her lyrics. It's not just like, okay, let me make a hit. She really thinks of, like, you know, like with Anti-Hero, you know, it's just, I like it a lot. I like that they are deep thinkers. So, Joe Alwyn, being a Pisces, is interesting to me. In fact, they're both ruled by Neptune. Pisces is by Jupiter. Pisces is partially ruled by Neptune too, so they often have like a deeper way of doing things. So I find that very interesting. So let's see, will they get back together? With Ace of Swords being the past, I think that each of them, and it's funny because Joe Alwyn's been very quiet. I think that's also a cultural thing because he's British. British people in general don't really like to talk that much, you know. Also being Pisces, a lot of Pisces will keep their thoughts to themselves, which I don't necessarily think Pisces and Sagittarius make a good mix or match, because Sagittarius is just upfront, and I feel like when I was with 2 Pisces guys, I would be upfront and they would kind of like be standoffish about the fact that I was upfront. But when I've been with Sagittarius, when I've been upfront, they like that. They like the upfront approach. I like upfront. I like people to be just direct, but I think being too direct is scary to Pisces. A lot of Pisces I know. So I think she was very direct with him, Ace of Swords, and he distanced himself. I call it like the Pisces distancing, because I've experienced it myself. Instead of being upfront, they'll like distance themselves, like send you messages that you're supposed to get, which I don't like. I really don't like that. Libras do that too, and I don't like passive communication. I like to just be like, this is the way it is, you know. And that's what made her really. I feel like she was the one to end it. And now that I think about it, Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber, Bolden Bieber, are Sagittarius Pisces. Interesting, very interesting. I just realized that right now, because how they ended is how I see Justin and Hailey ending. So he's gonna just like different circumstances, but he's not gonna be upfront about it. So the present being Knight of Wands, I see her partying, living her best life. But I did say the next guy she officially dates, she will be together for a long, long, long time. But right now she's in her self-love phase, partying, having a good time. And 8 of Wands being the future, I see her manifesting, calling in somebody else. He is going to still do the Pisces thing of like spy on her and secretly wish he was still with her, but he'll never ever tell her. And that's something Sagittarius need. Sagittarius need that person, the person that they're with, to be like, you know what, I like you, you know, and I like to see a future with you. But Pisces, not like that. Okay, so let's move on. I just remembered I forgot to put on my eyelashes. Not that it really matters, but I usually wear my eyelashes for filming. But c'est la vie, it's life. Okay, so let's move on to Harry Styles and Olivia. These eyelashes have been irritating my eyes, so maybe it's a sign that I need to get different ones. Just side note. Okay, so Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde, Sun in Aquarius, Sun in Pisces. Interesting, I'm doing so much on Pisces. Past, present, and future. Will they get back together? So, some of you have been commenting, because I did go back to a video I watched a long time ago. I did a long time ago, and I've seen some recent comments about Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde, and like, hope they never get back together, So, let's see. I don't think so, but let's do a deeper dive into it. So, the past being Knight of Swords, I've covered them a lot, this couple. And I strongly feel, and I've always felt like this since the beginning, and when I started doing Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde videos, people would say to me, oh, you know, you're such a hater. The Olivia Wilde people would come on and be like, she doesn't want this, she doesn't want that. And it turns out I was right. From sources that were close to them, did come out and say she wanted marriage, she wanted all of that. And with Knight of Swords, I feel like she studies him. She studies what he likes. She studies so that she is that, you know. She's, in my opinion, one of those people that, I have to say my opinion for legal reasons, but one of those people that will love bomb you a lot. And I think she love bombed Jason. I think she found out what he liked, and it's a real thing. Some people really do that kind of stuff. They'll find out what you like. They'll find out how they can be like the perfect girlfriend. I think Amber Heard did that too. The perfect this, the perfect that, so that you feel like, oh my gosh, we're soulmates. You know, I dated a producer that did that. I believe that he researched me on social media, and I had a blog, so I used to talk about myself. In fact, now when I did, I'm like, have they seen my blog? I hope they haven't. But he had, and he went through everything that I liked and basically made himself to be that perfect boyfriend for me, so that I was like, oh my gosh, we're soulmates. But it's like, no, he actually just studied me. And I feel like sun and water signs do that quite often, actually. They study you to see what you like and often morph into that. Not necessarily in a negative way. Sometimes it's just in a way of like, oh, I like you, I want to be like that. But her, Olivia, I do think was negative. So the present being 3 of Wands, which in this deck is inspiration. he's starting to see how messed up in the head she actually was. He's starting to see, and it's very Aquarius, I can relate a lot to Harry Styles. I think we think very similarly. I'm a Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Aquarius, like he is. Oh no, excuse me, he's double Libra, Sun in Aquarius. But we have a lot of air in our chart and Capricorn in our charts too. So it makes us like think a lot. And sometimes I have to force myself to go to the gym, go for a walk, because otherwise I'll just be like in my thinking. And that's why I don't think, for people like Harry and me, water signs are not good partners for us. Not. Because we already overthink. We don't need somebody to give us more to overthink about. So he, now that he's left the relationship, is seeing, wow, she did this, wow, she did that. Like, she's actually really messed up in the head, and she's still continuing to do things. It's just beginning. When he starts having a girlfriend, a serious girlfriend, we're going to start to see the smear campaign. It's not going to be pretty, just letting you know. So for the future, being 5 of Pentacles, he's going to feel at some point like people are turning against him, because she's going to paint him out to be just wait for it. I see an article coming out, I think it's Vanity Fair is going to cover it. One of those big, they're going to make him out to be a philanderer, a playboy, all these things. She's going to say, I had an ex, basically pull it Amber Heard. I had an ex who did this and who did that, and they're going to imply that it's him. And it's going to put him in the position that he might not want to be in terms of moving forward in his career. That's, the media has become very sensitive about certain things. She's going to paint him out to be one of those people that we should be afraid of. So the energy being 10 of Cups, overall things are going to work out very well for him. After this, I'm actually doing a live, so stay tuned. I will have it in the card above so that you can watch it. But I do see a lot of good things coming for him. It's not going to work. The smear campaign is not going to work. But yes, I don't see them getting back together. I always say this: when an Aquarius is done, I had an ex, actually. He was the water sign, the producer that I was telling you all about. And it got to the point, there was a time in his life where after we broke up, he wasn't doing well, and so forth and so forth. But I ended up talking to him again because I felt kind of bad for him, and I wanted to help him, not as a partner, as somebody that used to care for him. And at that time, my people were like around me, they were like, oh yeah, you're gonna get back together. And I was like, I'm an Aquarius, okay? When I'm done, I'm done. There's no way. And we never go back together, because I know it's something that happens as switches in it. It's like a light switch. My feelings just turn off, and I promise you, that person will call me, they'll do whatever they can to get back into my life, but it's just not going to happen. And he's the same way. Okay, so let's move on to Ariana and Tom, the last former couple. Will they get back together? They just started filming for Vanderpump Rules. So let's see. Ariana is currently dating that really good looking guy from New York. I don't know about his energy. I'm not really feeling it. I think his name's Daniel. I don't know how I'm feeling about him. He's very good looking, like I said, but there's something energetically that I'm not feeling about him. But you know what? I think I should do a video on him soon. And then soon. Okay, Ariana and Tommy. Okay, so we get the Tower as the past, which is obviously the affair that happened, and lots of secrets. I strongly believe, I've said this before, I have an ex like Tom Sandoval, and they really are dangerous people. I only know one ex like that, and half my exes are really cool. I believe really cool guys. I think all of them have some coolness to them, some niceness, some great qualities. But half of them I would still talk to today if it weren't for me not believing. I don't believe in exes being in your life anymore. But if it weren't for that rule, I would still be friends with them. The other half, I'm like, don't ever talk to me again. And the ex that is like Tom Sandoval, in my opinion, is definitely one of those. He's on the top of the list and never speak to again. And something that he would do, that I see Tom Sandoval do, is make up a completely different story than the truth and keep pushing it on you. It is gaslighting, but it's a different version. It's like an aggressive version of gaslighting, you know. So I am very glad that her friends surrounded her when everything happened, because otherwise he would have had a hold over her and it would have taken way longer. He would have like tried to juggle both of them at the same time, Rachel and Ariana, and lied to both of them like he was already doing. So it had to happen like this. I said it before when I did a live a long time ago. It's like divine intervention took place. So with the present being Chariot, it's also Cancer season. Both of them are Sun and Cancers. This is the card of Cancer. I see her moving out soon. I did say I predict her moving to New York over time. I think she might move for the guy and then things don't go so well. But, and I want to do more Vanderpump Rules, because something's going to happen in the friend group. They're going to end up being friends with Tom Sandoval again. I really think Ariana is more East Coast, you know. Maybe not say East Coast, because people from Arizona and Vegas are not like this, but in LA, there's this energy of users, you know. On the East Coast, if you don't like somebody, you just don't mess with them. You just don't talk to them, you leave them alone. But in LA, I've met a lot of people that will use you, talk badly about you behind your back, and it's not only LA thing, but it's perpetuated that let me use this person for what I can get, you know, which I really, really don't like. And she's gonna see that. She's gonna have a big reveal, her own big reveal, and just see, wow, these people are so fake, you know. And then she's going to move. Except for Katie. I think Katie's one of the only real friends she has. So the future being 3 of Swords. When she moves on to New York, I strongly see her moving to New York. She's going to be very different, you know. Very, very different. And with the bottom of the deck, the energy, Page of Cups, I see her. I don't want to predict. I just saw something that I don't read, because I don't think it's fair for. I just don't think people should be pressured to have children, and I think children are their own private thing, you know. But I see the potential for kids if she chooses that. That's just what I'm gonna say. But I see in New York her thriving, and it's going to become very clear. It's going to be the kind of energy when she goes to New York, everything goes well, you know. And when she goes back to the West Coast, everything will be like down, and she'll decide, I'm going to move to the East Coast. I do want to see how them living together will pan out. I can't believe they still live together. It's insane. And it's Tom and Ariana. So let's see the future of them living together. How will she get out of it? So somebody's gonna give her money to buy him out of the house. They're gonna offer him money to get out the house, and then that's how he's gonna get out. They're gonna buy him out of the house. They're gonna buy him out of a lot of stuff, because in the next season he's really going to be. Guys, if you can, stay away from people like that. You can't help them, okay? And they thrive off of people who want to help them. They're really lost causes. So, and I don't like to say that about people, because I used to believe everybody was savable, but it's only if we choose, you know. So That's what I feel. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really love what I do, and I love that you watch, and thank you for the support. Lots of love.